You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. And welcome back, Skyrim Addict 176, I believe. We're talking about Rigmor, Bruma. Here with Ray.
Howdy, howdy.
And Colin.
Evening, guys.
Victor, he lost to Rigmor in a battle. And she took him out. Yeah. Let's put it this way. Let's see. There's 4 of us usually. One of us completed the mod to the end.
Purely by accident.
Through perseverance by accident. However it worked. He got there. I got probably 9/10 of the way through it.
And I gave up right at the start.
And you gave up very early, smartly. There was that. So we'll dive into our morass a little bit. Oh gosh. So we played, basically we stumbled into Rigmor of Bruma this time.
Yeah, whose fault was it? Somebody on the podcast.
Seems to be some guy with gray hair and tattoos.
Who's not here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think I like Rigmor Rumor. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's somebody to blame.
Guys, I've heard this one is great. I can't make that episode, but I've heard this one is fantastic. I will say it's ambitious.
Yes, it is an extremely ambitious mod. I mean,
yes.
And so I did discover through this process that this is a redo of the mod.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like a second version.
This is the new and improved version.
Wow. Yeah. So I will say I attempted. So I started it at first. I was playing it on Xbox One.
Same here.
So
that's where I started anyway.
Yeah, that's where you started. You attempted it on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I attempted it at first, and on a character, the level 67 or 68 character that I've been using for different mods, and I just had so much stuff done that it just interfered with everything. Like, I needed to talk to a niece wasn't there, like stuff with Angie. Like, I didn't even get past that part because I couldn't even talk to a niece to get the things I needed. Right. So there was that issue. So I went back, and if you're going to play on Xbox, I recommend definitely you start with a clean save period and start from the beginning. I was able to get through it that way. Like, I really liked the story. I thought it was interesting. I thought the mod was really ambitious. It's just there's so many things that can go wrong that you can't fix. I think that's where the problem lies with it.
Yeah, it's very, very rigorous in that it can't solve any problems. It's either you do the next step exactly what it's expecting, or it doesn't acknowledge, probably the first place that I really, really saw that was when we had to go get the mace out of a dungeon.
Oh yeah.
And just outside of Markarth, and you're supposed to follow the path up the mountain.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my bad. Yeah, I don't play with the HUD on, so I had no idea where the thing was pointing. So I'm looking on the mountain, and I see a flag. I'm like, okay, that's not normally there. That's got to be part of the mod. So I took my horse and rode up the side of the mountain, as you do with a horse in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And found got to that flag, proceeded on, found the dungeon, went through the dungeon, cleared it out, got the base, got outside, and checked my journal to see what was next, and I hadn't started the quest.
Oh my God! Because you didn't hit the exact point you needed to hit.
Right, because I didn't trigger it at the spot that they had set up, and there was no provision whatsoever for getting there another way, which is really tough in a situation like Skyrim, where there's a million ways to get anywhere.
And that's where I start off with, is that I think it's made for the wrong game. It's not an open world
quest.
Quest mod. I mean, if that was in I don't know, something like I can't remember. I don't play too many of them, so I actually probably wouldn't know so much. But maybe like those Lara Croft games.
Where you're just going point to point to point and through the story.
And you sort of following where you're going. I can't remember. There's another one that I played.
I think the Uncharted,
like kind of like a shooter type thing, and you just go to this particular place, and then you kind of like Doom. You just you walk in, you run from one end of wherever it is to the other end, and that's where you get. So I think it was the use Skyrim, as I said in it somewhere. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was in the group or the group chat. But I said that Skyrim was just used as the setting. It wasn't part of the mod itself. Until I restarted again on the PC and made a brand new character, discard, I call him. So I was just going to play that and then just throw it away. And then I played through the start of the mod where you meet up at Riverwood and that. And then after that, it gave you the option of let's go straight to Rose, and I was like level 2 or something like that. So that's not going to work. So I said, so I went and started doing the Dragon Ball quest when I got the claw and went into done the dragon thing and everything like that, and that was amazing. It was really enjoyable part of the quest because she mentions she's with you every step of the way. She goes into Bleak Falls Barrows with you, and then she's mentioning the swinging blades, the swinging blades. And when you come up to him, she goes, "Oh, well, I'm going to stop and wait here until you get through the other side and turn them off." Oh, wow! And then you go all the way down. You go to the word wall, and stuff you learn your first word, and she goes, "Are you all right?" And you're really pale and everything like that. And it keeps on coming up dialogue option to when you get back into Whiterun, and you've killed the dragon and you've gone through this. And then the mod totally takes over your game, saying, "Oh, you need to buy a house. Here's 2,500 gold." Oh, and then she goes up and starts talking to Lydia. And there's a perfect interaction between them, and she forces Lydia to loan you 2,500 gold to be able to buy the house. And I was like, right, okay, this is really weird, but as I said, it was really enjoyable. So if they had just do that part of it where she was your follower and went through the games and played with you, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But her side, the quest side, was just too much effort and not enough reward. The amount of effort it takes to be able to get through that mod was just not enough to be able to be willing to play it anymore. You'd have to you have to put in 10 and you get 1, if you know what I mean, the ratio. And I don't like doing that.
And it is a very, very long mod.
Oh, it is. But it was much longer than I realized it was going to be.
Yeah, because you're constantly thinking, okay, this has got to be about it. I've played for 4 or 5 hours. Got to be getting close to the end. Nope, not even halfway.
Yeah, and it's still, you're still going and going and going. It's pretty crazy how long it is, actually. I was, I kind of agree. I wish I'd experienced more of the follower part of it, because I switched and did the, started with fresh character and didn't do any of the other stuff because of the issues I had with the character I had tried the first time. I wanted to keep it as clean as possible, so I didn't even go into any like Dragonborn stuff or anything like that. And maybe it would have been better if I had gone into that and gotten more into the regular story of the game and had Rose as a follower for a bit, and then Rigmor as a follower doing stuff, doing other things, like even the Civil War stuff, because that works into it obviously as well. So I wonder if that would have been made the experience a little better.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see, because I didn't. My character was level 20 when I bumped into Rose, and I wasn't expecting it because, from what I had seen, there was mention of Angie's camp, and so I thought I was gonna go to Angie's camp anyway because I've got an archer, and so I thought, okay, well, when I do, then I'll pick up the quest. But I was surprised when I bumped into Rose just outside of Embershard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because she's right outside of there. Yeah.
But I hadn't done dragons, and I didn't need Angie's camp, or not Angie's camp, Anissa's cabin.
Anissa's cabin, yeah. Yeah, the problem with the first character is I had killed Anisse, and then I was like, oh, I'll grab this other character, and on that character, I killed Anisse, and then I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna start fresh here. And then what I did was, since I was on Xbox and I couldn't just create a character at certain levels, I used a leveling mod, which basically doubled how fast I was leveling on certain things. So like I started at, obviously whatever, 0 or 1, and then I was up to level 10 pretty reasonably quickly. So I built a decent character throughout the quest line. I only got up to like maybe level 20 to 25, but it allowed me to survive in those battles where there was like, hordes and hordes and hordes of people coming at you. Because I was playing as a mage also, like straight mage with robes and everything else. So, I mean, you know how bad that is. Low level.
Yeah. So, low levels is murder.
Yeah. So I was like, I needed the leveling mod. So if you're going to play it on Xbox, I suggest doing the mod itself, maybe some of the Dragonborn, some of the Civil War, and adding a leveling mod on a fresh character, and just enjoy the story of the mod itself. But you have to make sure to hit the markers because it won't kick off the story. You can't really jump ahead and do something before you're supposed to and have it work. You have to do it in the correct timing and all that, or it's not going to work as well either. But
so how far did you make it, Colin?
I got to was it just after, the meeting with the Khajiit in Riften? You walk in and you sit at that table, and the two of them introduce me to him, and then the two of them sit there and talk amongst themselves for 10 fucking minutes. I'm sitting there watching them, and then I get up, and then those fucking Argonians come in and then kill me, and then I gotta sit through it fucking again. 3 times I had to sit through it because the second time, all right, I know they're coming, so I can sort of like just throw them across the other side of the room. Halfway through the fight, fucking lizard breath from behind the counter runs right in front of me and takes a whack to the side, and all the guards come running in and kill me.
Oh, Jesus. I had that issue going through one of the vampire things we went through. Like, I think it was after that point.
Bloodlet Throne.
It might have been Bloodlet Throne, where, who was with you? Was it, Rigmor's with you, but, Angie's with you, that one, right? Okay, yeah. Angie was attacking me because I accidentally hit her with fire. Well, I'm like spraying fire everywhere. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. And I think I was wearing a flame cloak at that point. And I'm like, well, how am I not going to hit you? You're like running into me. What do you want me to do? So then I had to like run and hide and then wait for like an hour after I got out of her view or something. And then when I went back there, she was fine. But I was like, oh, what a pain in the ass. But I did like how it brought in characters that are kind of ancillary in the game and made them part of something.
Yeah,
I did like how they used that, like how they used Angie, how they used Anisse. There was a couple other ones along the way and different towns that they used. What was the one in? There was another one in another town, I forget, but there was a few in a bunch of different towns actually that you kind of used.
Yeah, quite a bit, and it was pretty clever the way that they used existing dialogue just spliced it together to make those characters say things they wanted them to.
Yeah.
To fit the story.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting in that way. And the story itself is pretty good. You start, I mean, it goes on for a long time.
I wasn't looking. I wasn't expecting too much when I heard about the Daedric Amulet of Talos. So it was like, yeah, tell me more. Okay, let's go. And then also the second quest. I think that's when you go to to Castle Black? Is it?
Oh yeah.
And then another kid joins the party. Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Sunday at daycare. Awesome.
Oh yeah, the little kid. Yeah. What's her name? Yeah. But I got really disturbed when I think I was in Windhelm, at the whatever the inn is there, and the bar or whatever, and
Candlehearth Hall.
Yeah, Candlehearth. That's it. And I looked over at Rigmor, and I'm like, oh my god, Rigmor is just an adult with a child's head on it. I'm like, this is messing me up now. Like, this is weird looking. It's just an adult body
that kid from the not the save screen from the transition screen with that holding up the wooden sword.
Yes, it is. That's what it is. It's like Aventus Arantino or whatever. Basically, his head stuck on an adult body as a woman, and I'm like, wait, this is really weird when I'm looking at it, and it looks a little disturbing too when you finally realize it, because then you can't not see it.
Right. And they played a lot with the model size.
Yeah.
Because they made the body small, but they did the same thing with Ingold, the Nord that you meet.
Oh yeah.
He's like, at least 50% bigger than everybody else. I mean, the guy is huge.
Yeah, he is very big.
Is he as big as son or whatever his name is?
Bigger.
Bigger,
Yeah, because Son's only about head and shoulder above you.
Yeah.
This guy, you're still staring at his belly button.
He's half giant. Yeah.
So, but So one thing I did discover. So I got to a certain point and I just could not figure out how to get any further.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I guess this thing's broken. I can't, And I'd run into that thing, that problem so many times before that I'm finally like, okay, fine. I'm just going to go to Bruma and start working on moving along in Bruma. And so I crossed the border. So you get a horse.
Yes,
with the mod.
Yeah.
And you get to keep it.
Oh, okay.
And so, I'm riding the horse. I go into Bruma, and, as you're going down the road, there's a couple of wolves and a mountain lion. And so I hop off my horse to take those on. And all of a sudden, Yingold comes running up with his warhammer and just smacks the crap out of him. Oh, dude, where'd you come from?
Yeah, there is that nice. That is nice, actually. Yeah.
So, and then came across some bandits, and Cassius shows up too. So I'm like, all right, party on. But,
and then I like how the bears don't attack you anymore when you're with certain people. When you're with the little girl or you're with Rigmor.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about bears. Like, they just kind of come in and attack everybody else and wander away. It's really nice.
So, at one point we're traveling along and there's a pack of wolves, and so I'm an archer, and so I arched, and, from as far away as I could, see, and so I take out these 5 wolves, and then as we come up, Rigmor says, "Did you notice? Isn't it great that the wolves don't attack us?"
That I just sniped.
I'm like, is that because they're dead, or were they not going to attack us before? And I just killed them for nothing.
Oh man, Michelle was saying that Rissy's Tales of Troubles is a nice long quest mod also, with hard fights and stuff.
All right, Michelle, did Victor put you up to that one?
Yeah, is this another Victor trick where he's going to abandon us again? But I thought the story of Rigmor was really good. There was a little bit of creepiness with the love story between Dragonborn and Rigmor, especially when you figure out that it's a child's head on Rigmor's body.
Right. But and it's from the very beginning that it's a young girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boethia.
Oof. Oh yeah,
Holy
you get the Boethia part.
Would you just shut up?
Yeah.
I am not going to sleep with this little kid.
Yeah.
Well, they say she's 18. She said she's 18.
Yeah, they do clarify that actually.
Okay.
It is definitely
I think it's when you get the posters.
Yep.
You speak to somebody earlier, and it says like, "Oh, an 18-year-old girl from Bruma." She's That's it. I think it's the Thalmor. You walk into Riverwood.
Oh yeah.
It's the guy who stops you as you're walking in, and he says like, "She's an 18-year-old girl wanted for Bruma." Blah blah blah. But that's what I was going to say when I was thinking about what I was going to say coming in, is that I didn't go in with too high expectations. Because I don't like damsel stories. I don't like going in there with a story of that. But it's not. So anybody who's listening to it,
it's definitely not.
There's a lot of problems. It's not a damsel story. She doesn't need like somebody to come in and rescue her. She needs like an ally.
Yeah.
You end up becoming allies, and the two of you are like going out there adventuring and doing. She's a fucking monster. She absolutely owns. And if I got more in the story, I'd probably find out why. It's probably because at the very early start of the mod, you hear stuff about her dad being like a scary. What was he, an Imperial captain or something like that? He was some sort of guy in the army.
Ignored, but he fought in the war against the Thalmor.
Yeah, and he if he was on the battlefield, it would be worth like 100 men or something like that were saying. So I knew there was something of why she was so powerful. It was like in the story, so that was good.
Yeah, it definitely takes a Daedric turn, and she is quite powerful. Michelle was saying that after the quest is completed, if you keep her with you, she's kind of dull and doesn't have much conversation.
Yeah, there's a letter you can pick up and you can call her in, but yeah, no thanks. She's kind of a brat.
Yeah, there is times.
Now Rose, on the other hand,
okay, so I didn't finish it. So Colin, do you mind being spoiled on what happens to Rose?
No, I won't play it.
Yeah, what happens to Rose? Like, do you ever find Rose? I've kept trying to find Rose. That's all I wanted.
I haven't yet. So evidently the Thalmor pick her up.
Okay. And yeah, you don't even get her back at the end?
No.
Wow. I thought we were going to come back.
Which is too bad because, you know, she's pretty cute.
Yeah, that was a great modeled character, actually. It was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I could see the Dragonborn moving on there. And, you know, they battle together in Skyrim, and Rigmor goes off and does her journey, what she needs to do or whatever. I thought it was going to turn you back to Rose at some point.
Yeah.
Helping Rigmor. I didn't realize where it was going. But Rigmor definitely capable of handling her own stuff, as you find out throughout the mod, for sure.
Yeah, was it earlier on when you first meet Rose, is it like a chance or an option for you to make advances on her, and I didn't. And then there's also the option. I don't think I asked this in the group, but I don't think anybody did, that you kept any of the money. Did anybody keep the money?
I did not. That early quest where you get the large amount of money, like you go up to the bandits or whatever it was from the camp.
Yeah, the shrine.
Yeah.
And you steal the money, and there's like that rose there.
Yeah, I kept the rose for a long time, and I gave her half the money.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if because they had that note in it saying that this, like, you know, be careful what you do and all like that. Azura is watching you, and I was thinking, if you did keep half the money, would she die in that camp? You know, where you rescue the little bandit kid.
Yeah.
Because I think that you give her half the money and she uses the money to bribe her way out. You know, this says, like, you know, she tricks the guard and then snaps his neck and runs off. I think if you keep the money, I think there's a chance that when you get to Castle Black, you find her dead or something like that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even consider that. That's a good possibility because, without that money, she's probably not getting out of there.
I was just thinking of because it says like it's got that note and it's just like kind of alluding to, like, you know, oh, here's the money, and then when you get back down, it's asking you like, you know, oh, do you want to keep the money or give her half or anything like that? So I was thinking, so that's what that note meant, but I didn't get far enough in the quest to realize it.
Yeah.
Actually, so one of the quests, one of the notes that you get at the end of the quest is that there are roses scattered around the world, and if you find one of those roses, so like if Colin found one, he could give it to Lydia and she would kiss him.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Because I did give the rose to Rigmor at one point.
Yeah, the one when you're at the Overlook camp.
Yeah. There were some cool camps, I have to say.
Yeah.
I did like some of the camps.
And those hang around, so you can, you know, you've got a player home at the homestead, and
at the farm,
those camps around.
Yeah, the camps are really cool because, like, if you were playing it, like, kind of role playing it and not fast traveling or anything, once you had all those camps, it would give you these other options to be able to go to and like wait out the night, or, you know, because there's what, at least 4 of them around, right? Or I know there's 2 in the east, north and south.
Yeah, there's the one by the hot springs.
Yeah,
the one that overlooks the valley.
And there's one out west, isn't there?
There's one just outside of White Run.
Yeah, down south of Riverwood or whatever. The one, the original.
No,
one,
this one is just right outside. You know, kind of if you walked out the gate and then through the Khajiit camp, just on the other side of the stream there.
Oh, it's over there.
There's one right there.
Oh, okay. Is that one of the ones you go towards the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that. That's probably one I didn't get to. If it was after the Oblivion Gate.
Yeah.
How did you get the fence to come down to go into the gate?
Okay, so this really, I mean, I must have played this thing 20 times. And so, which was good because it meant that I had a save right outside the door.
Yeah.
That I ended up going back to. You know, so you walk in, you have to stand there. All the acolytes are standing around, and you have to wait for Ingol to go through his, you know, little dialogue where he tells you that, that he and what's his name, the Imperial, they're going to distract the worshipers, and you go rescue Rigmor.
Okay.
And so, can't do anything until he's done talking. And then once he's done talking, then you can run up there and kill the priest before he, says his incantation over Rigmor. And then, once you do that and they kill everybody, then Rigmor's still laying there. And I couldn't figure out how to wake her up.
I had that same issue.
And so one time I accidentally, so usually I was shooting the guy with an arrow from the back of the room. And since, okay, well, maybe I have to kill him with Azura's Bane. So I ran up to kill him with Azura's Bane, and, it's a big, long, two-handed sword, and I ended up hitting Rigmor. And she got up. She stood up. And so then, but, still, then she sat back down and laid down again. And so I couldn't, I tried to talk to her. I tried, not killing the guy right away. Maybe I needed to have a conversation with them. No, that wasn't it. How do I talk to Rigmor? Well, turns out that um, it wasn't in the quest log, but you had to talk to um, the captain. I gotta figure out what his name is.
Cassius, yeah.
And tell him to take Rigmor back to the farm. You're going to, through the Oblivion Gate.
Oh my god.
And so that was the thing that was holding me up.
That was holding it up.
Was that there was no indication anywhere that I had to talk to him. Ingle was standing right there next to you, so I tried talking to him, and he goes, "Yeah,
yeah,
yep,
that's exactly,
yeah,
yeah." I had that same issue. My issue was I would have been totally screwed anyway, regardless, because I didn't have that happen, and I jumped around the spikes that were blocking the Oblivion Gate and got into the Oblivion Gate.
That's the way I went too.
And then I can't
figure out how to get this stupid thing open. So hey, look, I can get around it.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I'm like, well, what could go wrong in this mod where everything goes wrong if you don't step in the exact position? Let me just go around the gate. That must be what happens here.
So just to and so when you do that, you go in and the flame atronachs are there.
Yes.
And inside the tower, the Dremora are there.
Oh yeah.
But that's it, and nothing happens.
No, I went in and got all the way to the top.
Right.
And I got all the way to.
But did you go talk to Malakath?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he sent me back.
But then you didn't have Azura's.
But then I didn't have Azura's
to strike the sigil stone. Okay.
Then I'm like, wait, how do I?
So I couldn't even get to that point. So nothing was there. So there on the left pillar. Is a pull chain.
Oh Jesus!
And so that brings the gate down. That let me in, and then now all of a sudden the place is full of scamps.
Oh great! Oh yeah, there were scamps when I got into it.
Was there? Okay, I didn't have any scamps before.
But they were just like Falmer, basically.
Yeah, they're essentially Falmer. And so then I was able to go talk to Malakath. Strike the sigil stone. Well, as soon as you strike the sigil stone, Azura's Bane disappears from your inventory.
Oh, really?
And then you carry on.
Yeah, see, I don't know where I lost Azura's Bane. So I was like, great. Because the only saves I had were the 3 most recent auto saves, which were all within battling the guys right there at right outside the Oblivion Gate. And then prior to that, my previous save was in who did you have to go against in the what Daedric Prince was it? Where the fire, you were battling their toughest opponents or whatever?
Oh, Boethius. Yeah, Boethia. Basically you're doing Boethia's challenge.
Yeah, so I did Boethia's challenge. Like that was the last save I had prior to that. And I'm like, God, I don't know where I lost this thing at. Like, do I have to go do that again? Then come all the way back? Like, I can't. Like, I was like, I just can't. I said, I'll probably revisit this in the future at some point and go through the whole thing and really, really, really make sure if you don't make sure you save regularly, you're gonna run into problems.
Yeah. Well, and at Boethia's challenge was where I realized that I was still playing on Legendary.
Oh my God. Yeah, I had to turn it down in the beginning because I was coming off playing Legendary with my other character. And here I am like a level 2 mage. Like and like wolves are like breathing on me and I'm falling over dead.
Right.
So I'm like, this is not gonna work. Something's wrong here. And I never quite made it to that mage tipping point where you become really powerful.
Right. Yeah, you didn't make it far enough along.
Yeah. But I would say the leveling, if you're playing on Xbox, the leveling mod helped quite a bit, where it just added enough extra levels where starting at 0, it wasn't overpowered or underpowered as I went along, since I was just playing this story. So it worked out well, where I could just play this mod, level up enough, and enjoy the mod without being like destroyed every time there was a battle, you know.
And early on, they start referring to you as Dragonborn.
Yes.
Even though you're not, and there aren't any dragons.
Yeah. Yeah. I never even got to Helgen yet.
Yeah.
When I play with the Dragonborn thing of going through, I got all the way up to doing Oostengrav and then coming back and then getting the full Fusroda shout for that. And that's where, because she's moaning about it the whole way. Every time we're just going to go and do this. She goes, oh, fine, but, I've got my own shit to do until it gets just that where you get the final word of Oostengrav. And she's literally, right, what the fuck's happening now? Are we going? And she waits outside when you get the which was really good. When you get the final word for Fusroda, you come out and the chest you put Klimik's supplies in.
Oh, right? Yeah.
She's sitting on top of it when you come out.
Oh, that's
and
good.
She's like sitting there like arms crossed. Right, what are we doing now?
Oh, man.
And you're like, yeah, I promised you. That's it. I'm done. We're going to thingy, going to get Rose, going to do your shit. And you're going to go to, whatchamacallit, thingy, Angie's camp.
Angie's camp, yeah.
And she's like, right, okay, well, fine. But I didn't want to push you. I think that, if you continue doing more quests after that, I think she just quits you and
she goes off.
Yeah, I went off on her own. So I do highly recommend that side of the quest, that side of the mod, of her going through your story with you as your follower. It's really good. Cool. Yeah, it really was. That's why I said I was going to do Inigo, because as I said at the start when Victor was telling us about it, I thought it was a damsel story. I thought it was, you come in and sort of, your big hero and save the girl, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, boring same old shit. But no, it's nothing like that. From most of what I've read, and I only played a little bit, and it's definitely not that.
Yeah, it gets even less so later on.
Yeah, it goes even further and further away from that as you go through the mod, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of, dealing with a spoiled little kid, but...
yeah, I think that's more of an age thing than...
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because when she was kept on giving me shit for doing more and more the Dragonborn stuff, you were going... I was saying, like, the nice things is like, come on, like, chin up, sort of like, deal with it. And then we're going up... going up the mountain to get the word? She's like, it comes up dialogue option available, and she turned around and she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna walk up this fucking mountain." And literally, I went with the option, "Will you shut the fuck up and get on with it? Fuck's sake!" And she went, "I'm really sorry."
Oh my God.
And she sort of like started pouting. And just went up the mud. So you can't give it back to her in some of the stuff that she said.
Well, there's at one point when you meet the Imperial, when you meet Cassius, and you got to put on the Imperial gear, and she starts laughing at you after you put it on. I was like, all right, that's kind of it. That's all right. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But even those were like, as you meet Ingol and Cassius, like, you got to hit this mark, you got to hit that mark, or they won't start talking to you. Like, you really need it on.
I had never had this happen before, but I got stuck in an animation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so. I was stuck in sneak. I could sneak more and unsneak more, but I was still in the sneak pose, and so I could not sit down.
Oh, jeez!
And I had to sit in the chair to talk to Cassius, because you can't talk to somebody who's sitting down if you're standing up.
You cannot.
Can't do it. Words won't come out of your mouth, and so. I finally figured out how to do that, and I think it was as simple as just going into third person and back into first or something like that.
Okay, yeah, it just kicked you out.
But I was able to get myself back in to be able to sit down and progress along. But yeah, the first indication I had that she was not going to be a damsel in distress was when we were headed up to the mine. On our way to the Black Rock Castle or whatever it's called. And there's a troll out front.
Oh,
and she goes running out and just bare fist punches the troll in the mug.
Oh, that was the thing. When you start changing her gear, if you don't give her a new weapon with the new gear, she has no weapon. So like when you were in the Imperial gear and she was in her Imperial gear, if you don't give her a weapon with that Imperial gear, she has no weapon.
Oh, okay.
So I gave her a weapon with it. I figured that out because she was running up and just punching the hell out of things and like killing them. I'm like, well, you might be more effective with a sword. I mean, you're killing them now, but you might be more effective with a sword at least.
Yeah, was it? I think I gave her because when the first time I played through it, I got to Castle Black and I found that she had the bastard sword, which is a two-handed, which is a great sword. So I thought I'd see what she does with a warhammer. So I gave her a warhammer, and she was just when I restarted on the PC, she was just like, because on the first one that I tried on the Xbox, it was a mage character, a sneak. And she really is like sneaky. She takes the piss out of you all the time. You look like an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anytime you're sneaking. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. So the second one I made was a two-handed fucking Breton, battle mage thing. And we started playing, going through that. And she was just like decimating all this fucking drama.
Oh man!
And that I said there's a lot of fun parts about it, but it was just the the ratio on effort to reward was really skewed in the negative. But
yeah, it was high. I think if I play it again, I'll know what I'm getting into and be really I will definitely do a clean save again, but I will also make sure that I save more regularly.
So you got places to restart.
Yeah, and just like pay attention. But I would say as a story, it's really good, really deep. There's a lot.
Yeah,
going
and
on.
it's good all the way to the end.
Yeah, and it brings in a lot of the elements of Skyrim in general. Like, you're traversing the entire map. You're meeting people that that aren't really part of the story that then can be part of this story, and there's obviously new locations and some of the stuff you have to do, like climbing the mountains and stuff, is a little more difficult, but still it's fun. They use a lot of mountaintops for new locations, which is interesting.
Yeah. One cool thing is that all of the locations that you have to go to, they put discovered fast travel points.
Yes,
too.
Thank God, because I had discovered nothing.
Right.
So there was no close location for me to go to.
Right.
Like when I had to go to Windhelm, I was like, all right, I got to take a carriage there because I am like nowhere near it. Or when I had to go to Riften, I was like, oh, gotta go get a carriage. I had no towns discovered at all because I didn't all start. In I think I started in an inn in Riverwood, and then left Riverwood and went back in. So I never opened up any town whatsoever, or any of the holds whatsoever. So I had to actually run to them, get a carriage, go to the next one. So I didn't really even go into any of the towns, except I went into Windhelm to do some crafting and sell some stuff, and obviously to go to Candlehearth and all. And Riften you have to go into, but you have to make sure you go in the South Gate instead of the North Gate. It's pretty specific about that.
Yeah.
And then you get the nice house down there, which is pretty good. But yeah, I like the camps. I like the different areas you had to go to and climb. Like when you had to go to Boethia and you had to climb that mountain area and back around the backside of Markarth, basically.
Yeah.
Which was pretty straight. And then you come out in Markarth afterwards.
Yeah, right over by the waterfall by Caselmo.
Yeah, you're right under Calselmo when you come out of it. Yeah. I was like, wait, where am I? And then I looked, I was like, oh, that's right. I was like, oh, there he is.
So fortunately, I had planned on, doing dragons at some point. And was kind of prepared in case I would, you really couldn't tell with this mod, what you were going to have already done.
Yes, I agree.
And so when I had maxed out magic absorption, so I've got 85% magic absorption, and then I've got a pair of frost boots, fire boots, and shock boots. And so when I got to that, and there were all those high level drug or death lords in there.
Oh yeah.
Shouting at me and everything. I was just like, okay, whatever. Didn't disarm me. Didn't even move me an inch.
Oh man.
Here, have an arrow for your trouble.
Oh.
And then same thing when I was at the Trinimac Temple.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that this mod does in order to create difficulty
is add
enemies. Give you, just an absolute crap ton of the same thing.
Oh yeah.
And really, it gets kind of ridiculous, especially when you get further on and you start with the troops and everything. I mean, you really see it when you get to that Trinimac Temple. Every single one of those is the exact same model.
Yeah, they're all the same.
All the guys in the black robes, same faces. All the guys in the red robes, same faces.
Oh man.
Same thing when you get to the soldiers. You've got 3 different kinds of soldiers, and so they're all just identical looking. But when I was in that Trinimac Temple, so you've got like 6 or 8 of these mages in there that are just casting shock, and so I just stood there. All of them are focused on me, hitting me with their shock. I've got on my shock boots, and I just plunk, 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 plunk. Okay, we're done. And I mean, I just barely had the teeniest tiny sliver of health gone. It was pretty fun.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was wishing I had Fusro Da when I got to a couple of those battles. I'm like, God, I wish I had started dragons.
When you get in there, there's 20 skeevers.
Oh yeah, the skeevers. Yeah, that one section where there's like hordes of skeevers.
The mine, yeah. I started a new character, and I was playing with Wedgerson again, and then finally is my first playthrough where I decided to start worshipping a Daedric prince. So I thought it's time to go big or go home. So I thought I'd go with the biggest one on there. So I went with Hormea's Mora, because he's all over the Dragonborn mod, and it was really difficult because you can't worship him or be a follower of his until you do his quest. So you either have to be I think it's do the Ogma Infinium with the nutcase out in the ice fields, or you have to do the Dragonborn quest. And once you finally get to be a devotee of his, the best part is the reward you get is that when you pray, you can give up 5% of favor for him, and you advance any skill point. So you can raise like alchemy or archery or anything by 1 point in the cost of 5 or favor. And that was a lot of fun. I was hoping to get Mirak's robes so I could do what you were doing, which is the magic absorption. Because if Mirak's robes increase your absorb magic, ability. So instead of taking the damage, it just absorbs it in. But I had Zim's artifacts installed, which changes all the enchanted and all the relics in the game. So it changes all the Thane weapons, and it doesn't change some of the face masks, but some of the swords and things like that you get, it changes. So
yeah, I was I don't know, I think for my next one, I'm gonna start fresh again for Bruma, since I deleted all the saves and all that from Rigmor to not tempt myself to go back. So I think to start the Bruma stuff, I'm going to start with a fresh character again and just let that character build over there in that world, and just see, maybe do a mage again with the leveling thing and see how it plays out. Basically, I think that's all I'm gonna do.
I think I may keep this archer. He's pretty kick-ass.
Because I still have my the one Bosmer that I'm using to do everything. I've gotten to the point where I've completed the Dawnguard stuff on the vampire side, cured myself of vampirism. So I think I'm going to do Thieves Guild next with that, because I'm just doing everything, obviously. But I'm not sure I'm going to use that one for the mods anymore, because it just has too much history on it at this point. There's just too much has been done, so I might just leave that one as is and kind of go this route for things. Just use the extra leveling and start pretty fresh for bigger quest mods like this.
Yeah, this one I hadn't done an archer in a long time, and so he's a ranger. He's a stand-up combat archer. He's not sneaky, but definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had fun being a mage for the first time in a while. Like just pure mage with robes and everything. It just, especially low levels, it's, if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you get wiped out pretty easily.
Yeah,
as a low level mage.
Yeah, one kind of frustrating thing with the mod was, so when you get to the second to the last quest, so it's basically a fight for Whiterun, and it I was kind of surprised because this mod reuses so much, just straight up reuses assets that I fully expected it to just use the Civil War.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, how are they going to work that in?" Yeah,
but they end up not doing it. It all takes place out kind of in front of where the bandit camp is.
Mm-hmm.
With the horse. On the left side of Whiterun.
Mm-hmm.
But so you have this massive battle. You've got three armies fighting, and you just stand there and wait for couriers to come up and give instructions that you don't have any choices on.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So it just was, that part of it was pretty frustrating. Even Rigmor shows up towards the end, and she gets to fight and you don't.
Yeah, I was wondering how they were going to do the invasion part and all that, how that was going to work out. I was curious how that was going to go.
Yeah. So you do. So once that battle is over, they're in retreat, and you go after them. Mm-hmm. And so you do run into a couple of little ambushes along the way, which are good. But yeah, and then so the very last thing you do is you go to Blacklight Tower.
Okay.
Where you have the the main bad guy trapped.
Mm-hmm.
With just some of his troops, and you've got Imperial soldiers and the Sons of Talos. And so if you're not the first one through the door, you're not getting through the door.
Oh, I had that problem multiple times during the game. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Oh my God.
And then I thought I was absolutely certain that I had just blown the whole thing on the very last scene. So you get this key, you go in and you climb up a ladder and you confront the main bad guy. So I went up and he's right there when you come out, and load into that cell. And so while you still can't move, he's whacking you with his dagger. So popped him, killed him, and then nothing happened. I'm like, oh crap. And so I popped open the journal and looked, and shit, I was supposed to talk to Rigmor. And I just knew at that point that I would go back down, talk to her, and then it wouldn't go any further because he was already dead.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, the trigger wasn't killing him; it was taking the note off of his body. And so I hadn't searched his body because as soon as I killed him, nothing happened. So I knew something was wrong. And so I went back down, talked to her, went back up, took the note off his body, and I completed. So it was a scary moment.
Yeah,
the way this mod worked.
There's definitely a few of those where you're like, "Oh man, did I mess this up? Am I actually gonna go through this whole thing again?"
Yeah.
There were definitely times where you had that anxiousness of like, "Oh God." Well, I know when I did the Oblivion Gate part, I played it like I do Oblivion, where I just basically run through Oblivion and run to the top of the tower and get, like, so all those enemies were all still alive. So every time you open a door, they all spawn on the other side. So there's like 40 enemies on the other side, and I'm trying to go up the little pathway.
Right.
So I'm like jumping to like kind of get through them and off to the side. And I'm like, oh my God, I should have just killed them. I'm like, but I was doing what I do in Oblivion, which is just run to the top as fast as I possibly can and get the sigil stone, because I had no idea what was going to happen.
Right.
So I employed that strategy, and it was not a good strategy. Definitely kill the enemies, or they're going to be in your way. Because I kept getting knocked off the pathway up to the thing. Because there was just no room. Yeah, I'm looking forward to starting something different. I tried to start Maids, actually, which is in a town, but kept crashing on me. So I got to mess around with that a little bit, see if I can get into that. But I'm probably just going to switch character to start Bruma from the beginning with a fresh character. Just kind of do a little bit before I head into it. Because I don't think there's any leveling requirements to that, right? That's just pretty... You just basically go into a new area that's off the map. If I remember correctly from when I played it last.
Yeah, in my notes, so you have to fight a group of Justicars. When you're trying to free Rigmor's mom, and I used 300 arrows.
Oh my God!
In that fight.
300. Oh my God. 300 arrows.
I mean, it was just like bang, 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 bang. Because they have on this, special black diamond armor.
Black diamond armor. Yeah. Yep. Did you get any black diamond?
No.
That's what I was hoping. I was like, man, maybe I'll get some black diamond armor or something. And then we got out of that mine, and I'm like, I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to get something?
Oh, is that where they have NPCs dressed differently, like in like custom armor?
Yeah.
You can't take it off them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows up as the only armor you could get was like the normal elven light, or other elven armors or whatever, basically, that the elves had on them.
Yeah, that made me a lot of money.
Oh God, there was a lot of armor to be had, that's for sure.
And there was all light stuff, and it was like, hey, Bruma, you're pretty strong. You carry around that 200.
Yeah.
There you go. There's more elven armor. There's
50 pairs of boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was true. You could definitely make some money pretty quickly with the stuff with the gear off of the different, especially the elves.
Because there were so many of them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, every time you battled somebody, it was 20 of them. Yeah, it was never like, oh, here's 2 guys.
Yeah.
Well, and then it was when you first get to that first camp in the swamp or in the hot springs, and then you have to go into the water with her or whatever, which was weird. Then the guy just shows up on the road.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is not going to be good. I know where this is going. Like, maybe they're tricking me, though. Maybe he's not a bad guy. Maybe he's just wandering by out here in the middle of nowhere doing nothing.
Yeah. So there was one kind of silly thing. So, and it was another one where it took me a little bit to figure it out. So one of the characters that you deal with is a guy named Malasam. And so you end up having to meet him at the College of Winterhold.
Okay. I don't think I got there, yeah.
I just couldn't find him, and I was really worried that so I have the immersive College of Winterhold mod on, and I thought, okay, great, this has covered him up, because it adds so much to the College of Winterhold, but then I was talking to somebody, and they referred to him as Archmage Malasam. Like, huh. Okay, well, I had gone to the Arcanium, and I went to the Archmage quarter, but it said that I needed a key, and I hadn't picked up any keys, so I hadn't gone through that quest line. And so, looking all around, and so finally walked up to that door, and it opened, because they give you the key and don't tell you. And so you have the key to the Archmage quarters in your inventory. So I went up and found there's a door just inside the Archmage entryway that leads to his. Well, so you go talk to him, and he sends Rigmor off with his helper, who's a woman, and she says, well, come on, Rigmor, come take a look at these artifacts. And she says, okay, cool. And so the woman says, oh, I'm sorry, are you cold? No, it just means good. I just made that up. Like, seriously?
Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. God.
So now we all know where cool came from.
Oh, that's amazing.
Rigmor of Bruma made it up.
She created it in whatever, the fourth era or whatever it is. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was kind of silly.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm interested to try some other follower mods that have like an ego. I've never done that one. I would like to play around with that. There was a few other ones floating around. I was like, maybe I'll try those, because I did enjoy this. I think something less extensive would be a little easier, obviously. But I like having stories of different characters. It just adds a little more to the world,
Yeah, I know Victor plays with immersive NPCs quite a lot. I haven't played with that in a few years, not since before my laptop, than my other my tower PC. That was a lot of fun, and there's some great characters in that. As individual follower mods, the only one I know is this one and Inigo. Oh, and there's one. Oh, what was it? I can't remember her name.
Oh, Sophia.
Sophia, there you go. Thank you. I didn't enjoy. I mean, the mod is very well done, but I didn't enjoy her company. Mm-hmm. And she's integrated into all the quests as well. So when you do something, she will go, like, when you walk into I forgot what it's called, Dragon's Reach, and when you walk into like certain dungeons, or once you finished, like finishing it, like being made sane. That's it. When she's walking out, she says, "Who's this now?" As Lydia's walking up to you to introduce her, she goes, "She is definitely not prettier than I am, or I'm a better warrior than she is." And
oh man,
it's like, yeah, that got my back up straight away. I also, all her dialogue was written by a horny 13-year-old boy.
Oh, really?
Sure. Yeah, it's just like non-stop, constant innuendo. endless. It's like literally like being with Benny Hill.
Oh Jesus! Oh man! Oh, yakety sax the whole time.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad to not have them follow me around anymore. But so Ingle and Cassius were my perfect kind of followers. So they don't follow right by you. They just kind of, it's a lot like the mysterious stranger in Fallout, where, a battle is initiated, and before you can even, get your bow out to fire a shot, these two guys just kind of pop up out of the bushes, essentially, beat the crap out of them, and then disappear.
Yeah,
they're like running off down the road.
They're perfect like that. Yeah,
exactly. Like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Catch you later. See you next battle. And so, they're not in your way. They're not trying to go through doors with you, and they're not talking to you.
Yeah. It removes all the pain of having a follower and just has them show up at the right time and then disappear.
Yep.
Michelle also did not like Sophia's dialogue in the game as well, in the mod either. So he agreed with you, Colin.
A man of taste. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So I had seen that one. I was like, I don't know, but I definitely I can't. I don't know why I've never tried an ego. I definitely want to hop into that one and try that one out. But
the only thing I know of it, I started it once and I never continued the playthrough. Maybe it crashed out, but I just got him as a follower and probably done a couple of things with him. I don't know, but I did see quite a bit of his storyline and how he interacts with you on one of Gopher's playthroughs, and that was looked like a lot of fun and looked very in depth. So I definitely think it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Was it the current playthrough I've got going? I done that playthrough, or was it Mad Dog? Like, not the last character, but the character before that. And the story was that his brother had just died, so he didn't want anybody with him because everybody dies. He'd like get a follower and then they'd die, and then he'd done it solo. And I think it's ruined me now because now I can't have any followers with me. Because when I was playing solo for so long, like all the plans go right. You don't have to stop halfway through because the followers running in and sort of like, attacking somebody they're not supposed to be attacking. They're not setting fire to something that they're not supposed to be setting fire to. So it's just, I think I'm going to be having less and less followers from now on. When playing solos.
Michelle was saying the Marisi mod that he had mentioned. It's a long, dark story, about 8 hours of gameplay. 7 main quests, 1 optional, and 3 true endings, and several lesser endings, I guess. So I would say 8 hours is significantly less than Rigmor.
Is that a PC only mod?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. Let me pull up Bethesda.net here and see.
I always find it difficult trying to find mods on the Xbox on Bethesda.
Yeah, I have to search on an actual browser. I can't search through the Xbox because it's a disaster.
Yeah, that is a nightmare.
Yeah, so she doesn't look like a Khajiit, but she has cat ears.
Oh yeah, Marisi's Tales of Trouble is available on all platforms. It was the most popular last week, as a matter of fact. Oh, maybe I'll add that in and try that out. Let's see. I just pulled it up. Embark an amazing journey to discover who the strange girl is, what her story is, meet interesting characters, come to face with real choices that matter. There are more than one way to skin or pet a cat, and this mod will keep you entertained. So let's see. Yeah, no, that's it. Looks interesting. It is available on all the platforms, so no matter what you're playing on, it's available. Obviously, other than Switch, but everything else other than Switch, I should say. Half Khajiit. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, she's kind of half Khajiit. He's saying if you look at if you pull up the mod on Bethesda or Nexus or whatever, you can see she's they should have her character, picture of her character, and you can tell it's definitely a partial Khajiit, not full Khajiit. Kind of like the movie Cats.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anime like that.
Yeah. Don't watch Cats, anyone. I made that mistake the other night. Yeah, it seems like an inch, not too long either. I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah. So all in all, I'm glad that I was able to get through and complete the mod. It was it was definitely better to finish the story than to be stuck 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, I agree. I wish I could have finished, honestly.
It's kind of like you finished a Dark Souls game there, right?
True. It's kind of like that. Oh man. So I guess we're gonna start getting into Bruma coming up. Probably get into it pretty deep during the charity thing, because that's about almost a month. So 4 weeks, I guess, something like that. November 14th.
And what's it now? It's the 18th.
Yeah, so 4 weeks away ish. Mm-hmm. That'll give us time to get pretty deep into Bruma at least. I'm gonna try out this Marisi one in the meantime, before I get into Bruma actually, and just kind of play around with it, and maybe go with a new character again and do some, use the leveling thing and just maybe do some of the main quest or something with the character as well. So I have shouts.
Yeah. So I had originally, thought this, my plan for this character was they were going to be an Imperial Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used the alternate start and started as an Imperial. And, did the Jagged Crown, which is the first thing they have you do. You skip all the rest of it. You're proving and all that. And
you're still level 1, aren't you?
Yeah, when you start out. And then I remembered if you take the Jagged Crown to either Ulfric or Tullius, and you haven't started the dragons, then Whiterun disappears and you can never get in. And so I've been running around carrying the Jagged Crown with me since the very beginning.
Oh my god.
Because I still just haven't found a good time to start dragons.
Oh man.
So I probably will now, just because I'm prepared to be a dragon killer at this point.
You're ready, yeah.
Because they can scream at me all they want to, and it won't hurt.
Yeah, you're good to go. Oh man.
So as long as I don't let them get close enough to bite me, shake me, and throw me a mile in the air.
Oh yeah. Something that's not
good to go.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate kill screens. I would like to get rid of them. There's a mod. I was looking for a mod so I could just completely get rid of kill moves, but it doesn't. All it does is add more and give you control of how many more you can add. I just wanted to get rid of them all. My kill screens, whatever it is, and everybody else's kill screens as well. I would love a mod like that, because too often when I'm just about to back away or sort of pop a potion or something like that, then it flicks over. There's sometimes they get a kill cam, like if they stand behind you, you're at full health and it's like a bandit marauder or something like that. And it just really irritates me that the computer just takes control. I mean, we pop in, was it the shout, I've forgotten what it's called, let's say whirlwind sprint, and the other one become ethereal before they can land their hit, but it's annoying. is it? I just the character
annoying as an archer when you get a kill cam on something
that doesn't die.
You miss.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thanks. I appreciate you showing me in slow motion.
Yes.
As it hits the rock.
Yeah, I like it when you get the slow motion, you get the kill cam, and it misses, but obviously it's a bear that's right in your face. So on the kill cam, it's killing you while it's in the kill cam.
Not only do you get to see you miss, but when we are done, you'll get your kill cam.
Yeah, and you're like, thank you for that. But I was going to say, it's a pity that you're. I mean, I assume you're in light armor. That jagged crown is pretty hefty armor. So yeah, it would have been nice if you were in heavy armor, because I think I got it one time and I checked the stats because it was pretty late on in the game that I done it, and it was the same armor as my Dragonbone helmet. It's I think it is made of dragon bones, I think.
Oh, is it?
I think so. It looks like it is.
Oh, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm definitely wearing light armor. But I'm kitted out there too. So most of my leveling was done in alchemy, enchanting and smithing. So I'm like 300 over the armor cap.
Yeah.
And I'm over the magic absorption cap too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is it magic absorption or magic resistance?
Resistance.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't need absorption because I use zero magic.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even use it to heal. So.
I was wondering because I was thinking about doing an absorb mage with this character because the Bretons have got absorb already, and you can in the alteration tree. But I had ordinator put in because I was using Legacy of the Dragonborn again, and there's like loads of things that you need to get that people have that are not going to give to you. And I remembered the ordinator in the illusion tree has this perk called Entice Barter, and if you hit them with a calm spell, you can buy their shit off them, even if they don't
whether they want to or not. Yep.
Yeah, so you can buy Balbus? You know Balbus? He's the guy who you meet in the road, and he's like, "Oh, have you heard of the gourmet? He's going to think my tastes are so refined." Well, he's got a fork on him called Balbus's fork, and you're supposed to have that in the museum. But I was thinking, well, the only way you're going to get that is if you pickpocket or kill him. And then I remembered Entice Barter, which I never used before. And I used it, found Balbus, hit him with a calm spell, and bought his fork off him. He also had a Daedra heart on him as well, which was like 900 gold. I was like, no, it's early on. I don't need one of those, because I was thinking about going to Moth and getting his heavy armor from him.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. But but with Ordinator, it changes all the, obviously changes all the trees, and there's no absorb fucking perk.
Does it only resist? Because there's something in there.
Yeah, there's there's like distorted shape. So when you first enter combat, it misses, and unless you do an offensive or defensive action, all the attacks miss. And obviously you got the mage armor stuff, but there's no specific absorb magic. The only one I could find is in the restoration tree, which is you can absorb with your wards. I know there's really good ones on the is it Lokier? Vokri Lokier. Vokri, there's some good ones, perks on there, I think, for Magicka Absorb. But he's got 100 in, alteration, conjuration, and illusion, and he's finished Dragonborn. So I've been going to using the book trade in dragon souls, just keep on swapping all my perks around.
Yeah.
And then like use them in like was it? I just because I leveled up enchanting, because I think it's level 80 there, so you can get 2 enchantments on the one item. Level 80, and then I got up to level 76. And then used my favor by being a follower of Hermaeus Mora to get the last 4 perks, and it was so awesome that I got leveled up to 76, and then 76, 78, 79, 80 just by offering the favor I had earned with Hermaeus Mora, and that's really in depth because you obviously pray, but to be able to get more favor, you find these things called eldritch pages on corpses of people you kill. So there's a little page, and as you click on the page, it's like him sending you information, and you've got to collect 8 of them and then take them to a tanning rack, and then make them into a book, and then you read the book, and then it gives you more favor, and also gives you permanent upgrades to, like, your spells are 10% more effective and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to go on a spree of worshipping different Daedra in my next few characters to see what they give you, because it's really in depth. You have to do their quest to be able to become a follower, serve them properly, and that's when you get their boons. But I think this character, I'm still I'm level just about 50, I think, and I haven't even done like half the quests yet.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the Ordinator perk I was thinking of is alter self resistances.
Yeah,
and so you can give yourself 25% resistance to magic.
Yeah, it just you can't give it the resistance to magic. You can only give it to one of the elementals.
Really?
Yeah, you can only do frost, fire, shock, disease, or poison. You can't choose magic. I would have done. Because I've played a lot of Britons, so I like getting the magic resistance. So on the old stones, you could get the Lord Stone that would give you 25. You got the natural 25 with the Bretons. Mm-hmm. Then I would do the 30 in the magic resistance in the alteration tree on the vanilla, and then you do the Mara quest at Riften. Yeah, and that gives you 10%. So I guess you use like maximum the highest you can get magic resistance naturally, I think, is 75. And then if you go over to Solstheim, you can get Azura's blessing, when you pray to the divines.
Right.
If you go into the reclamations, go in there, you've got Boethia, Mephala, and Azura, I think it is. And you take her blessing, and hers is 10% magic resistance.
I haven't done the follow in quite a while.
Yeah, I just got that through the Legacy of the Dragonborn quest, because you can ask the curator of the museum, and he's sort of like, I've got a lead on a quest, and all it says is get this item from wherever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And it came up, get the ebony blade from Dragon's Reach. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't done that in fucking ages.
Yeah, it's been a while. I know in the vanilla game, I think you just have to talk to the bartender in Whiterun there.
Yeah,
ask about rumors.
Yeah, isn't there a prerequisite? Is this because I am the Dragonborn?
Yeah,
I think that was it. You have to have done the Dragon Quest.
Yeah, and I think it might be like you have to be some sort of level.
Yeah, 20, I think.
Yeah, 20 or 25, something like that.
Yeah. I've only done that once, and it was with that the character that I did for the Civil War Roundtable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been ages.
Yeah, that's another one that I haven't done since. I haven't done two-handed since then.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think we're gonna stick with some mage work for a while. I was enjoying it this time.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've been meaning to say all along, and I totally went out of my head, is that I found a new happy with this new character is that he got to 100 and he was using alteration and conjuration and illusion all the time, but now he's trying to max out obviously enchanting, restoration, and destruction. So now what I've done is I've done the twin enchantment, so I get free alteration and destruction spells.
Oh wow!
So I just walk up to everybody, and paralyze them, and then use their wall of flames or a wall of thing, and then just spread it on the ground, and then just leave them lying on the floor, burning to death while they're paralyzed.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, and then just like walk off, and you click. I have to check every dead body, everything that dies, which is great because he's in the alteration, and there's got the most underrated spell of the entire game is definitely, I found it in this one, is Detect Dead. When you're looking for dead bodies that you killed and lost in the brush, they've got knocked under a table and stuff like that. Detect Dead. So you can go, so you can search every single body, because like, especially if you like it's a quest thing or something like that.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. Yeah.
So I've been loving that, and paralyzing things and then setting them on fire while they're lying.
Oh man, yeah, I never thought about using Detect Dead that way, because you always lose somebody, especially in the damn grass.
Yeah.
Or especially that one. What was it? Remember that one that used to get lost? What's the quest? Is it the Galdor amulet where the 3 guys are popping up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he always disappeared. There was always that issue where he would
because they're on the 3 stones and you don't know which one it is. And it's got like a layer of water that comes up above your knee and things like that.
Yeah.
I just done that. And as I said, I installed Zim's Artifacts, which is a mod that changes what all the stuff does. And he made Galdor's amulets absolutely perfectly, just the most perfect. Because it's like this big epic thing where you have to go to 3 different dungeons, 3 different guys, and then you go to a 4th dungeon, and then you got to kill the 3 guys again, and it's this big thing and it says it's the most powerful amulet, and then Zim changes it. So the one you get off the guy in the Mage's College quest, his one gives you. Makes your spells 10% more effective, and you learn them 10% faster. The guy with the bow, you learn stealth skills 10% faster, and they're 10% more effective. And then there's the warrior guy, which is, I can't remember what he was, but you kill him, and your warrior skills 10%, and then you join them all together, and it's all of them. So you wear the gold anime, and it's worth like 2,500 gold, and it's one of the best things in the game now.
Yeah, definitely. Once you get it all put together.
Yeah,
nice.
And so it's definitely worth it. But I just took it off because I made my sort of free spelled enchantment thing. So I've got my alteration directed. So I've just taken it off.
Yeah, I was trying to remember, and Michelle reminded me. So if you're using the Hunterborn mod, it has a thing called Instinct that you can use to find both living and dead things. That's what I've never used the Detect Dead spell, but I knew I used something that to that effect.
Good to be able to locate the bodies.
The bodies, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty light on the mods in this one. Zim's is the only new one I've added, so I've just got my base. Was it Legacy of the Dragonborn and Zim's? So just convenient horses and sort of what you call it, Sky UI, Predator Vision, that sort of thing. Nothing else is really in there. Winter Sun. So that's the only other things I have. So I don't have Hunterborn or Immersive Armors or anything like that.
So Zims, is that the one you were saying?
Yeah, it's it's the first time I've played with it, and it makes the Thane weapons you get, the weapons you get when you become Thane.
Yeah,
they're named weapons, and was it the reskinned? Other like one of them you get. I won't say which one because I do highly recommend it. I don't think it's on Xbox. I don't think
it is.
You know, it is. Yeah,
yeah.
Then definitely get it. It's definitely worth it. As I said, he made that golden amulet so perfectly. It was so lore friendly. Because they go on about there's like these three Gearman Golden were so powerful, and then his son's got it, and they have to get the Archmage. No, not the Archmage, was it? I think he was like the second in command to the Emperor or something like that, and he had to chase them down and kill them all and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I really like what they've done, and then they reskinned one of these swords, and it's the Nordic. Great sword, you know, that you get in Solstheim, the Nordic carved gear, but the like great sword version of that, and then changed it so it's now got like white fur from like a snow bear, and it's like the blade is sort of like it looks like it could kind of be made of bone instead of being made of metal, and he's done a really nice job of it. So
cool. Yeah, it just came out on Xbox on the 15th of October.
Oh, wow.
Like, literally just came out. Which I don't even know what today is. Today's the 18th.
18th,
so there you go. 3 days ago.
Well, I highly recommend it. From what I could see, he didn't change the Dragon Priest masks. Kept them pretty much the same, as far as I know, of the ones that I've got already. But some of the weapons and some of the jewelry he has changed, and none of them are like spectacularly like overpowered. I think he's doing a great job with it.
Cool. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, I guess somebody ported it over with permission, it seems like. Interesting. I was just looking at some of the other ones. The person who ported it over has also done some gear stuff and all. But yeah, I'm going to try the one Michelle mentioned, Reese, and I definitely want to mess around with the artifacts one. That seems pretty interesting. Making those artifacts more, usable after a certain point. But a lot of times by the time you get them, they're not really something you'll use, like you were saying with Galdor Amulet,
Yeah.
You're probably already beyond that point by the time you get to it. So it's nice to make that stuff prominent,
There's one of the weapons, which we call it, the changes, and it's good if you're a Spellblade. So it's an absorb magicka, and it does magicka damage, stuff like that. I can't remember the exact enchantment on it, but it does. It really fits in well if you're playing a Spellblade. That was his thing is I read his page, and he was going about how these artifacts have like gone through each era, like the past 5 eras, and there's supposed to be like the weapons of legends, and then like by level 30 you can make something better and is more suited to your playstyle, and it's just a little bit unrealistic. So he tried to want to make them more powerful, so that they can be the relics that they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I agree. I like that idea. I think it's super lore friendly too.
Yeah, well, like you said, Ariel's bow, for example, created by a god with craftsmanship that's said to be of no equal, but it's less effective than a glass bow, and its enchantment is mediocre.
Yeah, because it only does sun damage.
Yeah. So the weapon of a god shouldn't be so mundane.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah. Michelle had said he can't play without Campfire, I Need, or Hunterborn anymore. Just feels unnatural and boring. That's a good combo, though. Like, if you enjoy that style of play, that's like super good for that. I definitely had a Hunterborn character for a while that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and one thing that always struck me about Hunterborn was that so when you skin an animal and take its horns and all that kind of stuff, and then the model's laying there in the grass, fully covered in fur, and has its horns. So I tried a mod called I think it's Hunting of Skyrim or something like that, and so when you skin the animal, the corpse is, this now skinless thing on the ground, and you get all the squishy noise and everything out of it.
Oh man!
And so then I really got tired of looking at this, fleshy blob laying on the ground. So, all right, fine. I don't need to see it skinned. Thank you.
Oh God.
Yeah, I used to when I played with Hunterborn, I used to turn off the time lapse because when you go into like skin an animal, it goes the screen goes black and then it comes back that you spent like an hour sort of like doing that, and I was like, yes, I like that if Skyrim was like that throughout its entirety of its game,
right?
But you can't make the rest of it like when you finish skinning the animal, and then you take it and then you cut it up into leather strips, and then you spend like 3/4 of a second using it to make a sword on the what should we call it, the blacksmith forge.
Yeah.
So it's going to take you like 3 days to a week to make a sword. If you, I mean, I would say Victor could probably do it. Getting the entire world to be that way, and Michelle probably as well. He's probably got hundreds of those immersive mods, which slows the game down. He's probably got the clock to 1 in 1 or something like that, so it passes well, and you can spend that immersive time. But I think where I've just got 20 mods just to add some spice to the game. I can't spend all that time doing the Hunterborn thing of like slow play, skinning the animal, getting it sort of like, and then getting the I can't remember what they're called, the really expensive, a fine pelt or like a glorious pelt, I think it was, and you can sell it for 500 gold. When you can go and kill like 4 bandits and sell all that gear and 450 gold. I don't think, unless you're like a big modder like Victor and Michelle, and you can get the entire game to be like that. It just seems at odds with each other with the rest of the game, so it ruins the immersion for me instead of adding it.
Yeah, Michelle he plays with the time extended.
Okay,
but he doesn't use the time. He doesn't spend time when dressing.
Yeah, field dressing the animal, just to be clear.
Not getting
yeah. Michelle sitting in his pants. That's how we all play Skyrim. Michelle, you're not the only one, don't worry.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Well,
wait, you wear pants?
Yeah. Does anybody wear pants anymore? I mean, really? Let's go.
Yeah, Ray's like, this shirt's painted on.
Oh man. So I saw a 4-hour 16-minute Fallout feed dropped. Yes.
Yeah, it was our end of the season special, so we had a lot of folks on.
That's awesome. Big wrap up of the round table.
Yeah, so just finished the new Wastelanders content roundtable. So,
which one is that? The one with the two, like the bandits and the colonists?
Yeah. And then you go raid the Secret Service vault.
Yeah, I done that. Yeah, it was kind of an anticlimactic ending. It's like, oh, awesome! Another way to grind. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another way to spend 2 hours taking out the trash, hoovering the carpet, and, mowing the lawn to get 3/5 of a gold star to buy a weapon that you won't ever use and you're going to junk and sell anyway.
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Oh God. Yeah, so I guess the next time we could talk some Bruma if we're playing it. I'll play some of the Maurices, and then I think definitely during the charity thing we'll get into Bruma much more deeply, giving us all a little bit of time to get into it. Maybe I'll bop around to some other mods too. Probably work on my vanilla character, getting through some more. I don't have too many more achievements to get done on that one, I don't believe. But my end goal was to get every single perk.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of grinding happening at some point in a vanilla version of that. So there is that. But
what's the level you have to get to for that? It's like 260 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, it's pretty high. Yeah. God, that's going to be.
Those magics are so slow.
Yeah. Yeah. The only good thing is like enchanting is super fast.
Right.
And alchemy is super fast. And I have a crap ton of ingredients. Like I've just been filling a cabinet with them. And the same thing with the smithing stuff. I've just been filling a barrel full of crap. So like whenever I go legendary, I'll be able to just like boom, shoot right back up.
Yeah.
And go legendary again, basically. So there is that. I have the black books already, so I can do, I can go change my perks whenever I want to. So, and I have God knows how many dragon souls at this point. Like an absurd amount of dragon souls. So I want to kind of complete as much of everything as I can. Even like I have extra creation club content. So I'll go through all that too with like saints and I forget what they are. But I've like got all this extra stuff. It's kind of like Oblivion-esque content.
The saints. Oh.
Saints and sinners, is that it, or something like that? Or saints and
begins with a D.
Yeah, what the hell is it?
Because we done the Oblivion fucking.
Yes, it's exactly the same as that. Yeah.
I've got it on my phone. It's in the game.
Why can't I remember that? Jesus Christ.
See if I can remember it before they pull the game up.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. Saints and something.
Golden Saints.
Yeah.
Seducers.
Seducers, that's it. Seducers.
There's a D in it.
Jesus. Yeah, Saints and the Seducers. That's it. Yeah, because I can conjure them up. And like I think there's like a warrior and a archer I can conjure up already. But there's a fun little quest with those two in it. In one of the Creation Club things. So but that's all I got. Anybody else have anything?
So I'm going to have to, I've got to dig around on my computer and find where the screenshot went. But so once I finished the Rigmor quest, so the last thing you do is you escort her to the border, and off in the distance you can see Cyrodiil and the tower. Nice. And so I'm like, I wonder. I've got a horse, so I took off riding. And although, at about 2/3 of the way, everything starts to disappear except for the water. But I was able to make it all the way to Cyrodiil.
Wow!
And so I could see the model of the walls, and the tower. There wasn't anything else in it, and it was kind of floating in air at that point. But I snapped some shots of it. It was pretty cool. It was, it's there, and just so that you can see it in the distance. When you're looking at it. So I thought that was pretty interesting that they went to that much trouble.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Is that in the Bruma mod or the Rigmor mod?
This one was in the Rigmor mod because I hadn't gone through any of the gates to get in to the Bruma mod. I know it's also in Bruma, but when I tried to go there in the Bruma mod, you reach a wall.
Yeah, it's just an invisible wall. It's just like, no, they don't even put up signs and nothing.
Yeah. And I had downloaded a player home, and it was on the other side of the wall. I'm like, this is messed up. I can see it. It's right there. I just can't get to it.
Oh man!
And evidently, they expect you to use a console command to break the wall. To be able to use it. And I'm like, nah. Be my luck, I'd end up falling off the map and be gone forever
through the world to nowhere. Yeah. Michelle mentioned Rigmor of Cyrodiil. I wonder if it is part of that.
Yeah, it's the, and actually they make a reference to it towards the end of the game. On the Bruma mod.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Cool. I will say that it was it the Thalmor was it hooded robes makes it look like they've have a tramp stamp as you're walking behind them. I found that out today.
Oh God, amazing. Well, it's been a good show. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. I'll do it again soon. Have to figure out a schedule.
Coolness.
It's getting to fall. I'm free pretty much any Sunday at this point. And
I'm glad it worked out that we moved it to this week because I was definitely having a hard time last week.
Yeah, me too.
I was on the road on Friday too, so the Fallout feed was done from a hotspot on my phone from the hotel room, and I went robot several times during that.
Oh man!
And just disappeared altogether. So I was gonna try, but there was no guarantee. So moving into this week, much better.
Yeah. It allowed me to get a little further in the mod too. I was hoping to finish it, but these things happen.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it was definitely a journey for all of us, I think.
For sure.
Like you in the messenger group and things like that, going seeing everybody's pain and joy and like
and Jess's Rigmor Mortis.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, amazing. All right, everybody. That has been our journey through Rigmor. Thank you, Victor, for putting us through this and then bailing on us.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
Later, it wouldn't have been so profound if it wasn't for the fact that I'm sure you guys have put me through that with the Wheels of Lol.
Oh God, that's what. You're right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. I never finished that.
All right, you guys. I see what you're doing here.
What is the most arduous mod we can find and pretend we're gonna play, and then fail on Ray?
And then to sit back and laugh at Ray as he flops around, beating his head against the wall, trying to get.
Oh God,
we're all playing Snake.
Yep.
On our old Nokia phones.
Oh man. Well, thanks everybody for listening.
Bye, guys.
Good night.